Hi.
Hello, welcome to our daily reflection from the YouVersion Bible app, and today, Stephen, it's from Proverbs.
Yep. Chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it.
Do you think Jesus might have talked about that a bit?
I got a feeling he may have read this verse or heard it when he was a little boy in the synagogue or something like that, and certainly picks it up and talks around this a bit, doesn't he?
About guarding your heart.
And being aware of that what comes out of a person is more important than what goes in, because now the Jewish laws are all about purity of food laws and all the rest of it. And he says, no, it's actually what comes out of your heart that really matters most. And
evidenced by things like what you think and how you speak, how you treat other people.
The tone of your voice.
It's a big one.
Yeah. So many things, yes. And so it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because it really talks about being aware of what's going on in your own heart, isn't it? So often,
self-aware.
So often we live like fish in a fishbowl. We don't really know what water is. And sometimes we're not even fully aware of our own reactions and responses and what's going on. So this is really calling for an ability to be self-aware, as you say.
Yep. Interestingly, I think that's something we were aware of as the kids were growing, our children were growing up, and reflecting back to them what their attitude might be, or their tone of voice was one thing, how they were, so that they became self-aware much younger than a lot of people do. Sometimes people are, fully fledged adults before they were aware of some things. And I think it's true for everybody to some degree, but I think because we were very conscious of this when our children were growing up, it meant that we were giving them tools to do this.
Helping them to learn to guard their hearts. Yes,
and to be aware of what they were doing and the impact they were having on other people by how they spoke and all sorts of things.
It took me a while to realise I was a bit of a perfectionist.
You're still realising that, I think.
It's not fair. And
I am too. To some degree, I am also a perfectionist.
Really? And so, realising that I started to become aware of how that affected the way I talk to people, the way I expected the kids to behave, rather than necessarily...
The way you react to people on the road?
No, never.
The way he stacks the supermarket trolley?
Can we finish this now?
Yes. Guard your heart, Stephen.
That's right. So, the point being is that there's a lot of things that we do, and it says everything you do flows from it. Things about our hurts or our pains or just idiosyncrasies or dispositions all affect what we do, what we think, how we act. And it's pretty profound, really. A bit scary.
Yeah, it's scary when you realise that who you are and what you do has so much of an impact on other people around you. And we talk about role models and the importance of being a good role model, especially if you're a high-profile person. But I think it follows for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You actually are being a role model to somebody. And it's good to just make sure that what you are doing is above reproach.
And I think it's even worked out in our marriage. Paul's admonition to not go to sleep with anger, because that's a thing of your heart. So part of that is discerning whether you are angry and cross, and then talking about it so that you don't perpetuate that, because we've known people, and I'm sure people listening know people who have allowed something that's happened in their life to become something that they've become bitter about.
Or it festers and they get cross.
So they haven't guarded their heart, and the implications of that have been incredibly profound in their lives.
And difficult, and implications for other people.
And broken relationships and poor health and a whole lot of things. So, this is a profound proverb written thousands and thousands of years ago, and yet it still holds true today. And particularly in the area of anger, I think can be a big one for people as well. But it's bitterness, anger, unforgiveness, perfectionism, all of the above.
So let's read it again. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23.
So maybe a good thing today is to just be self-aware.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.